From MTN News, this is Montana This Morning.
It feels like shining a light into a place of darkness, and with that light comes healing.
Making the stage safer, the efforts of a new Billings nonprofit to make the stage a safe place for kids to step into the spotlight.
We're just trying to save it for the community.
An attempt to save history, what 5 women are trying to do to save a school from demolition.
I want every kid to have fun and be a kid and play.
Be
have
part
fun.
of the team.
And a playground that includes everyone. The meaning behind a place dedicated to all kids and the efforts to make it happen. Those stories and much more coming up in the next hour. Good morning and welcome back to Montana This Morning on this Monday, August 25th. I'm Hailey Monaco here with Miller Robson. Good morning, Miller.
Well, good morning, Haley, and welcome back.
Thank you.
Coming
Good to be back.
Your 1-year anniversary.
Yes,
trip,
our little vacation to celebrate.
Well, congratulations.
Yes. Thank you so much.
And it's good to have you back.
It's great to be here.
All right. Now, I know you like the warmer temperatures.
I do.
We do have some 80s, maybe some mid 80s, upper 80s possible at times this week. Not expecting, knock on wood, anything extremely hot this week. Pretty seasonal, or some areas may be staying below average this week. I think Red Lodge really has a good chance to stay below the norm. Now, as we take a look back, the weekend was beautiful. Yesterday, Sunday, just a gorgeous day, a lot of sunshine. Our high just below average of 82, pretty seasonal. Right on target for the most part with our low as well. It was a dry day, so for the month, we're in the hole. Not too bad. For the year, of course, we're still ahead. Now, as we get to Thursday, Friday, let's keep an eye on those 2 days here in Billings alone, where we have a better chance of maybe seeing some of those showers and thunderstorms roll through, and they may be slow moving as well, so maybe some beneficial rain heading our way. Hard to say right now, but there is a chance. Take a look at temperatures across the area. We've got Glendive sitting at 46. Some friends who watch in Williston, North Dakota, sitting at 47. 52 in Forsyth, 49 in Broadus, 51 in Miles City. Down in Red Lodge, you're at 51. 48 in Columbus, 55 in Cody, 44 right now in Sheridan. Here in Billings, just another beautiful sunrise this morning. 57 at the airport, humidity at 53%. Dew points at 40 degrees, winds out of the north at about 5 miles an hour. Your day planner today, a lot of sunshine. By lunchtime into the upper 70s, maybe low 80s. By the time we head home, into the mid 80s. Pretty seasonal with those temperatures today. Just a really nice day, but we do have a return of monsoonal moisture coming in. We'll tell you exactly what that means for the forecast coming up.
All right. Thanks, Miller.
Okay.
We begin in southwest Montana as fire crews from across the state continue to fight several large wildfires in that area. This morning, we're being told by state officials that a firefighter working on one of those fires died in the line of duty over the weekend. Officials say the firefighter was fighting at the Bivens Creek Fire in Madison County, northwest of Virginia City, when he suffered a cardiac emergency. Crews on scene say a line paramedic tried to conduct life-saving assistance, but attempts were unsuccessful. The firefighter has not been identified. The Madison County Sheriff's Office is now investigating, and right now, firefighters are battling 2 lightning-sparked wildfires burning northwest of Virginia City. The Bivens Creek Fire has burned more than 2,200 acres with 0% containment. More than 600 firefighters are actively working to stop this fire. Governor Greg Gianforte was among the officials notified following the announcement. In a statement, the governor said, quote, "Tonight, we learned a firefighter suffered a medical emergency that resulted in his death while battling the Bivens Creek fire. Susan and I ask all Montanans to join us in praying for the family and friends of this fallen hero." Crews are also watching a new wildfire this morning, burning in the east side of the Crazy Mountains. Right now, crews with the Custer-Gallatin National Forest say the fire is small, burning at about 3 acres, but it is smoldering and creeping. A Forest Service engine crew, 6 smoke jumpers, and 2 rappellers are on scene with help from Aviation Resources. A helicopter is also helping with bucket drops. Now, while fire crews on the ground are working to lay hose around the perimeter, and crews are keeping a close eye on the growing West Fork fire near West Yellowstone. The 622-acre fire is burning in the South Madisons after being sparked by lightning. Firefighters are focused on containment lines and remind folks planes are scooping water at Hebgen Lake. Now, there are no evacuations, but several roads and trails in the Custer-Gallatin National Forest remain closed. And another fire, the Red Canyon fire east of Thermopolis, Wyoming, remains at more than 124,000 acres. But crews report it's now 75% contained. More than 300 firefighters are on scene, focusing on mop-up and structure protection. Crews do say the interior of the Red Canyon fire continues to be dangerous with unsecured buildings that crews are starting to assess. Finally, another very active fire burning in southern Wyoming, the Willow Creek fire. This morning in Lincoln County, Wyoming, it's burned 3,800 acres and remains at 0% containment. Firefighters are working to keep the blaze west of Highway 89, where the fire prompted temporary closures over the weekend. In a developing story this morning, Custer-Gallatin National Forest officials are warning of a temporary road closure as crews are looking for a missing hiker near Fishtail. The Stillwater County Sheriff's Office says the closure is placed on Benbow Road, number 2414, with the Forest Service crews adding the closure is just above the mine. Stillwater Plateau Trail number 51 is also temporarily closed. Crews say this is to help the public stay safe during search and rescue efforts. Deputies say the closure will remain in place through tomorrow. Montana's growing grizzly bear population is expanding, and that includes into the Front Range communities like Choteau. Now, renewed calls for federal delisting are coming from residents in similar areas with safety concerns in their own backyards. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service listed grizzly bears in the lower 48 states as threatened under the Endangered Species Act in 1975. At that time, there were an estimated 800 grizzlies in the entirety of the United States, not including Alaska. Now today, at this time, that number has grown to more than 1,000 in just the Northern Continental Divide ecosystem. Governor Greg Gianforte and Joshua Coursey, the senior advisor of the director of the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Services, recently heard Choteau residents' concerns.
The state of Montana is ready to manage the bear as a fully recovered species.
They've obviously had great recovery from what they started at, and it should be the poster child of success. And I can just tell you it's a high priority for us to move in that direction.
In January, the federal government denied a petition for Montana and Wyoming to delist grizzlies. In continuing coverage this morning, a new nonprofit in Billings is stepping into the spotlight after troubling reports of misconduct at a longtime Billings community theater tied to its former director. Organizers behind Act Safe say they're determined to make the stage a safer place for kids, and our Isabel Sparts shows us how the effort will protect the next generation of young performers.
14-year-old Emmett Gilfeather has always been drawn to the stage.
He walked in the door and the director, Gary, went, "Oh, here's our Tiny Tim." And that was the end of it.
Along with his sister Ainsley, they've acted in dozens of plays in Billings, something their mother, Jordan, loves to watch.
Doesn't matter what your background is, if you're a sports person, if you're a theater person, whatever, you're just welcome.
Welcomed into the theater community, especially by Kate Rustad.
You know, she's a mom, and immediately if I wasn't there, she's like, "Oh yeah, we've got Emmett, don't worry."
She wanted him to feel safe, something she didn't always have on the stage at the tender age of 14.
I personally can't fathom looking at a child and wanting to do anything other than protect them.
Back in May, accusations of sexual misconduct surfaced at Mesa Community College from former Billings theater director Mace Archer. Allegations that he forced students to undress on stage and groped them. Archer is on leave as the college investigates the claims. We reached out to him with our initial reporting, asking for a comment, to which he only responded, "You got it wrong."
Those of us here in Billings were struck by how similar those allegations were to the sorts of things that we ourselves experienced 20 years ago.
Kate says those feelings were kept buried until now.
It feels like shining a light into a place of darkness, and with that light comes healing.
And action. She and 6 other actors created Act Safe, a nonprofit dedicated advocating for children's safety in theater in the form of trainings and policies.
It's our dream that, someday every time a parent goes to a community theater that they can see a poster in the window saying that that theater is a member of the ACT Alliance.
So that young actors like Emmett can feel safe on and off stage, putting systemic issues center stage and ensuring a bright path for the next generation.
It's 20 years too late. It should never have happened, but we're going to do everything that we can to ensure that it doesn't happen again.
In Billings, Isabel Sparts, MTN News.
Isabel, thank you. Billings firefighters had to cut a driver from a rolled SUV after it collided with a Yellowstone County Sheriff's Patrol vehicle. This happened on South 27th Street yesterday. The crash drew a crowd and blocked the busy Billings Street at 10th Avenue South. Emergency crews worked quickly on scene to free the driver, who was then taken by ambulance to a local hospital. Authorities haven't released details about the driver's condition or the circumstances that led to the crash, and the investigation is ongoing. Now, this comes just a day after a Billings police patrol car was involved in a crash at Avenue C and 10th Street West. It happened around 2 o'clock Saturday morning. Police say 2 people took off running from the scene, but both were caught. One of them was arrested and faces charges. As of this morning, we have no details about the condition of the patrol car or injuries. On Sunday, more smoke could be seen rising in Billings. Billings firefighters knocked down a brush fire before it could damage a local bowling alley. Crews responded to Fireside Lanes at Industrial and Charles just after 3 p.m. yesterday. The fire sent heavy smoke into the air, visible from about a mile away. Firefighters say flames did not spread inside the building, though one exterior wall did suffer minor damage. The cause of the fire remains under investigation. Fireside Lanes was closed for the summer and is expected to reopen Labor Day weekend. A group of 5 ladies in Absaroka, Montana are rallying together to save a historic 2-room schoolhouse. The Absaroka Elementary School Board decided to demolish the historic sandstone school because it's unsafe. But as our Matt Carmack reports, the ladies aren't giving up.
Save the Sandstone School. A movement that's taken the town of Absaroka by storm.
I think it's a disservice to erase history,
especially for this group of women who have been working to save the historically registered building for the past 5 years after they formed a committee.
We're just trying to save it for the community.
The school first opened in 1910 as a learning center for the community. Janelle Brunkhurst, the committee's president, began working there in the 1980s.
Well, I have a lot of great memories there, and it was my first teaching experience, so it really was very important to me.
And the rest of the women have ties to the building as well.
I don't think you can know where you're going if you don't know where you've been. History is just a tremendous asset.
The ladies told me that a majority of the structural damage to the building is the roof, but as far as the interior of the building, they say it's relatively safe.
First, we got a hold of High Plains Architects, and they had a gentleman there, Randy Hafer, that had worked on a lot of historic buildings. And that was the reason we contacted him, was because of his background.
The efforts extend beyond just the architecture. Together, the group has raised about $400,000 to save the historic building.
We have raised the funds so that the taxpayers don't have to put a dime into it. And that is our hope and dream, that we can go on and never have to have a taxpayer dollar go into that.
Earlier this month, the Absaroka Elementary School Board voted to tear down the school with a 3-2 vote. To understand this decision, MTN reached out to each member of the school board, the district superintendent, and the elementary school principal. But as of now, those questions remain unanswered.
We had a lot of great years in there, and I'd like to see this school maintained because the historical value of it is so great to our community.
The school board meets again in early September, but until then, these women remain committed to the fight.
We have not given up by any means. We're still moving forward. We're still applying for grants.
In Absaroka, Matt Carmack, MTN News.